Vision today brought to you by Pro Finish Roof Plumbing, radio by Battery World Mornington, and the commentary by AJ. Kick us off.
The first throw up here in the middle of the Rowley Reserve at Rye. We're going to get another stoppage very quickly. Bit of tension in the air at the moment. Both sides wanting to advance to have another crack at Langwarren. Head and Smith doing the ruck work. Ball comes out, quick kick going forward for Karingal. They're up to centre half forward. Hope pushed off it by Luke Rowe. Who's going to stand up for the Somerville defence today? They move the ball up to the wing. Needed to take that ball there, the play there in Josh McMahon, but he's able to get another stoppage, and we'll get a throw in on the wing here.
2 stoppages already, and Somerville are going to the contest, and Karingal are having one on the outside as a sweeper.
Ball up centre wing, and the ruckman will do it all again. A big slap forward by Somerville, but coming the other way are the Bulls. Just trying to keep it in front of himself is Callie, and he had a teammate nearby, supporting Dixon, who lodges one forward and taps out the back. This is Darcy's moment, but the defence holds up for the moment. A hand pass back to a dangerous spot for Somerville, and the Bulls, well, they're threatening. In they go head first. Just leaks out to half back or half forward, depending on which team you're looking at. And at the wing, Somerville have it in William Shields, who's advancing across the wing.
Great
and he
kick.
hits one. Mitch Mantle, who again expedites movement into the pocket, just over the head of his elected target, but watch out! Nearly brought down in the tackle. The Bull released the kick, and they'll thread it through the middle. Just poking one forward and then carving his way through the drop punt to dangerous territory. 26 on 26. Holding his own for Somerville was McKenzie. Kept it in front of him. Darcy still lurking. And we'll have a boundary throw in about 30 out, a couple of minutes in.
Fast start by Bomb Beach in Division 1, boys, in the game that's battling for third. Bomb Beach 4-1-25, Tremana a goal.
So we're going to get a throw in here deep in the Karingal forward line. Dylan mentioned that it is 26 on 26. Kay McKenzie up against Riley D'Arcy. Luke Rose got the job on Darcy Hope. Ball comes into the centre of the forward line here for Karingal. Little tap forward. Who can run onto it? Somerville, the player there in Williams, was trying to lay a tackle. Smale. Quick kick from the boundary line. And it's going to go through for the first score of the afternoon. Karingal get there first behind on the scoreboard. We've played 2.5 minutes in the first quarter, and Karingal doing all the attacking, Dylan.
Certainly are.
Somerville's work rate's being put on notice here, boys. That's twice now on the outside they've had an extra. Somerville have got to be careful here.
And they'll head through the corridor into open space, and it's Liam Brewer who found a little channel to lead into, and he's got numbers ahead of the ball, called to play on, so he whips onto the right, up to half forward, numbers with Karingal at ground level. It spills out nearby Nick Mason, who we know accumulates plenty of possessions, unable to that time, and another ball up at right half forward, this time for Somerville.
Another one of Vossi's love childs there, Nick Mason.
I gave him his debut in senior cricket, AJ. Don't worry about that.
Of course you did, Vossi.
Tapped down by Smith and out to the wing again. Somerville player able to track it down. It was Brendan Head, but they turn it over and up to centre half forward. D'Arcy gaining position and taking the mark.
It looks, sorry Dylan, he looks a bit like Bud with the jumper on and the arms are covered. He's very much got that look. I've got Master Susovic giving me the nod of approval, so good watch that one.
He's a beast. He's a beast, this man, isn't he? He's a big boy.
He is.
It's no mean feat, boys, to throw Kane McKenzie out the way that easily. And he has, and he's going to go back and line up for his first of the afternoon, Riley D'Arcy, and hopefully get Karingal on the board.
If the footy trips at Bondi, he might be signing a few autographs.
3.3 goals per game all year. Riley D'Arcy, such a prominent forward for this Bulls side, and he's here to set them alight and kick the first of the qualifying final. It's Karingal 1-1-7. Somerville yet to score. 4 minutes in.
It was a good goal kicking technique, wasn't it? A bit like Josh Kennedy is retiring, ironically, from the Eagles, and yeah, really good goal kicking technique there by D'Arcy. Baz?
And you were talking about the size of D'Arcy before. I actually go to St Jim as D'Arcy, and boy, he lifts some big weights, that fella. He is tough as a nut, I'll tell you that.
How you
He
going on
might
the,
even lift you up by the look at yourself there.
How you going on the weights, Babs? Are you lifting plenty?
Yeah,
lift
I
the
do
plate,
22.5s.
That's
Boys, just as the throw-up's going to occur, now we're getting some more news about Callan Dixon. Baylor McLeod's actually not in. He was going to come in, but if he had played, Karingal would have been over their player points.
Oh, no.
So Farrelly is in
Okay.
as the balls come up to the Karingal half-forward line. And it's escorted out in front of the player there in Robinson.
We're assuming that everything's been ticked off by the league, so
Absolutely.
everything's good. So okay.
I'm glad that they picked it up nice and early before he entered the playing field. That could have been something that we would have been talking about throughout the week, boys. Ball thrown in. Rucks do battle. Comes down the ground. Callie, can he run onto it? Can he go around the corner? Goes to the goal square. Over the head of the two players there, and Karingal get another behind on the scoreboard, and they are pressing.
Josh McMahon there can call himself extremely lucky for letting his opponent go out the back of the stoppage. It's the one place of a stoppage you can't leave open, and that's a hole forward, which he gave, so he's got to fix that up.
Sorry, Daz. Walker Swain goes along to the wing, just forward of half back for Somerville. Out of bounds it goes, and we'll have another throw in. It'll be Head v Max Smith. And Head had probably the bigger piece of it, just trying to tap it to himself, and in fact accommodated for a teammate with Sam Glenn. Here go forward again, Karingal, bounce it's on its end. Nearly tapped ahead by Seth Kelly, who had a man ahead of the ball, and Diarcy still lurking, dangerous as ever, trying to keep it in, unable to do so.
This is what you recruit the big boys for, and Karingal are obviously hoping with their two big forwards they can get some fine weather and right throughout to give them the maximum opportunity to take advantage.
Vossi, they've also got Smale up forward. He doesn't look like a small unit either as the ball's thrown in. Rucks do battle. Sam Glenn trying to run onto it, but it's dribbled out once again. We'll get another throw in.
Baz and I just might go have a kick inside Somerville's forward 50, boys, if you don't mind, because it's not getting down there, so plenty of open area. They got to do something to wake up here. Work themselves into the contest.
Ball thrown in once again. Smale. Just on the ground. Who's going to get it out? No one as yet. Umpire Rowan David calls for it, and we'll get another stoppage inside the forward 50 for Karingal here. We've played nearly 7.5 minutes in the first quarter. Rucks do battle. Clearing kick for Somerville through Williams. Up to the wing. Who can stand under that? Darcy Hope nearly takes a great pack mark. Nick Mason runs onto it. He's going to just pull the kick a little bit. He finds his target in the middle of the ground. Coming out of the goal square. He was unable to take the mark there for Somerville. Ball on the ground. That was the throw, and the umpire is going to call that. That was correct. That was a great call there. The throw going against the player in Cow, and that was a rugby pass if I've seen one, boys.
There was a great kick going inside 50 from, I think it was Nick Mason. Almost had the like the Brian Myers sort of kicking style there, where he went all the way onto his right and swung it all the way back. So, yeah, great enter inside 50.
So Nick Mason has the footy here. Following up his work from the wing.
This could get him up and about.
He's going down towards the ocean end. And he comes inside forward 50. Has a little skip. But he's missed to the far side. Somerville open their scoring account. They move on to one behind. Karingal 1-2-8. Nearly 8.5 minutes gone. Pro Finish Roof Plumbing Vision. Also Batch World of Mornington. Match the day on the radio. As the ball's brought back in up to the wing. That's a great clearing kick looking up there for the player in Cow who gave away that free kick. Umpire pays holding the ball towards Somerville's way.
Not the best first two touches of a game, I think. A throw and a holding the ball, but he'll work into it. He's getting a good spot.
McMahon of the Ryan variety. He loads up to centre half forward. He goes, needs a lead. Camped underneath. Unimpeded to take the mark. I believe it's Mitch Mantle. No, in fact, it was Brendan Head. He gave it off to Mason, who floats one high up in the air. Numbers with the Bulls. It spills to ground level and missing an open snap.
Should have kicked that one. Should have kicked that one. Don't get many opportunities in finals like that. That's open. You just got to kick that.
Got some scores from around the ground, Vossi.
25-9 in favour of Bomb Beach, and I can tell you Frankston Bombers are up by 5 points. Bombers need to win to get into the, or they stay in the 5, and Red Hill are up by 139. Serena yet to score in another game that may or may not count depending on how the Bombers go.
Limited outlets to select from at full back, and subsequently he turns it over, and it's Lachlan Williams who has it in his hands. Quick assessment of what's ahead, and then he lays the kick short, just out of the outstretched arms of his forward teammate. A hand pass on the back pedal. It falls into the hands of Walker Swain, who tosses it up in the air. And the defence will again hold up, and here is Darcy Hope, hoping to make his first impact for the game. He slipped to ground, and his defender was quite content to see it out of bounds.
Good last few minutes from Somerville, locking the ball in their forward half, and they're going to need to win a clearance here because you know what happens, boys. If you have a few chances and you don't take advantage, usually it goes down the other end for a goal, so they've got to hold up here.
Smith, head doing the ruck work with Somerville, ball thrown in. Slung back in by the boundary umpire. Smith getting the hit out down to Alanis. Can he run onto it? He's a little impeded. McMahon, handball out to Williams. He goes in the middle of the ground. That's a very dangerous kick. Who can run onto it? It's the player there for Karingal in Matthews, but he can't take possession. Ball comes out for Somerville. They go inside forward 50, but another disappointing entry, and standing tall is the player there for Karingal in Cow. He goes in short, finding the player in Jansen. He's going to go back out wide, looking for that man who had the footy in the middle of the ground in Matthews. He gets a handball out. Karingal just looking like they're the more dominant side at the moment. Looking up there for Riley D'Arcy. He gets a little tap on in front of Sam Glenn. Can he run onto it? Not at the moment. He battles again. Strong tackle and the ball comes out. We're inside the forward 50 here for Karingal, kicking towards the Port Phillip Bay end.
And Somerville's defenders here. The rest, their forward line are actually setting up okay. Their entries haven't been fantastic, but their defenders right now have got to stand tall.
So clearing kick there for Somerville through the agency of Young. Only up to the wing. Nick Mason's been prominent early. He slips the tackle. He goes inboard. Who can stand up? Looks like it's Daniel Marshall there putting his big frame in the way. He goes deep inside forward 50. Who can take a mark? No one was looking for Lockie Sharp. Free kick going to be given, and it's going to go the way of Somerville, so they're going to go back. Umpire Rowan David pays the free kick to Lockie Sharp, and he'll line up for Somerville's first of the afternoon, boys.
Just got to kick it. Just got to kick it. Get themselves into the game. Settle everyone down. Go back. Go through your routine. Put it through. Not a difficult shot, this one, Baz.
No, not at all. I think Somerville might be the slightest bit lucky just to have this shot as well. It was pretty even, that contest, I thought.
So he's put it through, Lockie Sharp. Vossi, what have you seen in the first 12 and a half minutes here?
Well, I was just going to mention about Darcy Hope, actually, because he's been manned up by a guy that, and one team that's actually lucky they've got the players down there. Luke Rose, obviously a fantastic player, and he's a big boy as well. So Karingal have got the two big boys, but I tell you what, Somerville have got two pretty good defenders to match up on them as well. So it's not too bad if you're Somerville.
Well, they got the three-prong attack, boys. For Karingal, we've obviously got Riley D'Arcy, Darcy Hope, but Jordan Smales is seriously not the smallest bloke, and he's just plonked himself in the goal square, and he's currently on the player in Sam McDonnell. So it's going to be exciting if it can get into the Karingal forward line.
Up the ruckman go again, and it's Karingal who attempted to get the clearance out, slapped back into play, and is pinned holding the ball. And the free kick will go to Mitch Mandel. So the momentum with Somerville at the moment. Scores are tied at 1-2 apiece. 13 and a half minutes in to your opening quarter. Another inside 50 entry for Somerville. They all crash. And the crumb was taken by a forward. Didn't receive an obliging bounce, although it still stays alive. The tackle was shrugged and the goal won't be kicked. Not a lot of purchase on it by Jack Moroney.
He missed his foot.
That was full of clangers, boys.
It was. The Benny Hill music's playing in the background.
Well, finals pressure does to you sometimes, boys.
Matthews at half back. D'Arcy waiting at the back of this pack. Couldn't collect it. Fell to ground level. Somerville head forward again through Josh Young, and it's cut off. Umpire says play on. Turns on the right. Here is Young again. Got a hand to it. Provided the opportunity for his teammates to thrive, and they were brought down in a tackle. And refusing to let go was Sam Glenn, who's always ferocious at the footy. And we'll have a ball up.
Spoken about Nick Mason. Josh Young's had a really good start to this game as well. He's on the outside of this stoppage.
Snap forward by the Bulls. Alanis D'Arcy taps it on, it bowled a couple. D'Arcy still might go after it. He receives it from his teammate here, throws it onto the boot to vacant space, although it was the Somerville defender who actually attacked it first. Wanted to receive it, didn't. And out to the wing, it's Young again who's relocated, and he takes a strong mark at half back.
Appreciate the support, Youngie. You've done me well there.
So Young again just providing some signals to the throng at the wing. And in the end, it's probably a better result to punch it out of bounds because the numbers were with the Bulls.
Yeah, what is the signal for a 3-on-1, do you reckon, Baz? Not really the signal you'd be expecting if you're a Somerville player. No. We're going to kick it to 3-on-1 for the opposition.
Boys, if you haven't noticed, Daz's nickname's Cuddles. Likes to get a bit of attention after he makes a comment, so I'm sure you'll pick that up.
The
Ball thrown in.
Started early.
On the wing, Mansell over the back. The player there for Karingal in Oscar Whitty's wrapped up, and we'll get another stoppage.
Before this day's over, Daz, we're going to get a nickname for our man AJ here.
Absolutely.
Bit of rain coming in now. Rucks through battle. So Mantell's gone into the ruck with Brendan Head off the ground. Umpire calls for it once again. Will Shields on the bottom of the pack for Somerville.
Conditions are getting more overcast by the second, boys. Wouldn't surprise me if the second quarter began with rain.
So now that the two number one rucks are off the ground, Riley D'Arcy's just gone and plonked himself at full forward, gone a bit deeper. I like that. Ball comes out. Nick Mason's going to run onto it for Somerville, but he's just pushed it further forward for Karingal. Player there in hind for Karingal going forward. Sam Glenn, can he run onto it? No, dribbles out, and we'll get another throw in. But Nick Mason has been promising. Vossi, another one of your cricket pedigrees.
Nick's a very good sportsman, whatever he puts his mind to, but they missed him earlier in the season. He's back now, and he's using the ball well, and he's had a very good start here.
So we're deep in the forward pocket here for Karingal. Going towards the Port Phillip Bay end. Darcy Hope doing the ruck work for Karingal inside their forward 50. Ball comes down. Hope butters up once again. Butters up for a third time. Ball just bouncing around. Umpire's got a free kick here. And it's going to go the way of Lachlan Hind,
who had that fantastic pickup here on the wing earlier, but the decision wasn't paid until he threw his arms out. We don't like seeing that behaviour being rewarded, especially in finals, but Somerville might have been lucky to get their first goal from a free kick, so it all balances out in the end.
What are you seeing, Baz?
Hind, he's playing his 50th game in a final today, so big moment for this big fella.
And he comes, lines up. Umpire doesn't have to move too far. That's gone over his hat. And Karingal get their second on the board. I reckon Baz will have the nickname Chewer by the end of it, Vossi. He's got his stats coming left, right and centre.
Yes. Two-man, yep.
Yeah, he's dominating early, which we love, but Karingal are just looking the better side going forward, aren't they, boys? It's scoring looks a lot easier. So it's up to Somerville now to keep working their way through it.
Well, it's actually been an interesting case for Somerville because they're such an efficient side entering inside 50. They're second in goals and a ranked second in efficiency entering inside
round 6, so he can do it all. Lachlan Williams, been one of their better players all year. They're missing a few, but they've got guys like Lachlan Williams to compensate. He's just missed to the far side from where he released it. And Vossi is here with a couple of score updates brought to you by Bendigo Bank.
Bendigo Bank, yes. Decisions are being made a bit easier to work out what's going on here in Division 1 because you've got YCW up by 6 goals. Edifar Laspendale will be relegated. The Bombers up by 42 points and they'll remain 5th. Pines up by 28 points in the second quarter. Makes no difference to them. They'll stay 6th. Bomb Beach up by 14 points at half-time and Red Hill up by 24.
That Pines v Dramana draw becoming more controversial by the minute.
Oh, wow. Don't go there.
And Baz's man is single-handedly trying to rip this game apart.
Great mark there from Darcy Hope. He has it on the back flank. He goes up looking for D'Arcy, but great body work there from Kay McKenzie. Much better.
Coming into his own, isn't he?
Yeah, D'Arcy's had a really quiet quarter.
So he switched the play there to Jack Maroney. He's going to come in board looking for the player in Josh McMahon. He's going to wheel on his right. Goes straight up the guts looking for Ben Sedgwick, but he plays from behind. Standing in the way there was the Karingal defender. They got some run here through Pomeroy. Ball comes out. Kelly just pushed off it. He goes back in. He's on the bottom of the pack, but the umpire's going to call for it.
Jordan Pomeroy a bit slow to get up there. He's still got the head down as he walks to a sort of a back pocket position.
So Somerville have got one spare in their forward line. Not what you want as a Karingal defender. Ball comes out to Hope. He tries to go through the pack. Maroney, he goes on his left. Looking for that man who was standing all alone. Spoil coming though. Pomeroy turns around. Quick clearing kick from Karingal. Head was standing in the way. He just throws the ball on the boot. That's going to go over the back and he's kicked the goal. So Somerville, they move on to 4-6-30. Karingal 4-4-28. And they take the lead.
It took a very kind bounce like the Christian Petrarca goal, and I think it was the first quarter last night.
Very much so. But your goal scoring end, Vossi, looks like that's coming to fruition. It's all down to the left-hand side.
Mostly is down to that left-hand end. Doesn't mirror a lot of wind, but that's where all the scoring's been done, Daz.
Absolutely.
So Somerville have hit the front for the first time today. Stream brought to you by Pro Finish Roof Plumbing. Also the radio, Batch World of Mornington. Ball's in the middle of the ground here. Maroney, he's driven into the ground. We're going to get another stoppage.
I don't know if it's just me. It doesn't really feel like some of you are in front at the moment. It's been a really even second term. It's just that D'Arcy is being kept to account by Mackenzie. So it still feels really even though.
Yeah, they really are lacking that forward movement because Kane McKenzie's playing D'Arcy better. Couldn't agree more.
Saturday afternoon football, of course, brought to you by Chisholm Sports Academy as well as going up to centre half forward. The Eagles falling to ground was the defender. Had to remain disciplined. He did. He applied a strong tackle. Marshall poking one up in the air. Here is the chance for Mason. I think he might be playing the wrong sports and
touched. To behind.
Touched.
The Karingal player there was just pleading with the umpire because he knew he touched it. The player there in Cow.
So it's 4-7 to 4-4 on Somerville with the momentum at the moment. It's been a seesawing game. And at right half back, Karingal, they'll move to the wing. A 2-on-2, rising to take the mark. Nice, strong aerial presence by Baz's man, Darcy Hope.
Why is he suddenly my man?
He brought up that he was a little bit quiet, and since then I reckon he's taken 8 marks.
Plenty of movement up forwards, and
you get credit when they go well, mate. You know, got to know the role around here.
Fair enough.
Yep. Jack Maroney able to rake it in.
Better from Karingal. It wasn't D'Arcy or nothing. They got to lower their eyes, and they've given up a fair bit of momentum in this quarter, so this one's got to go through. Right behind us too.
Corey Battens.
Right in front of us, I should say.
Daz, what do you make of the two jumper wearing the short sleeve and the long sleeve together?
Yeah, you know my opinion on long sleeve jumpers, Vossi. It's not the greatest look, but hey, if this goes through, I can get behind it.
Corey Battens, a handy goal sneak down forward for Karingal. That's fading to the left, but it'll still remain alive. Nearly D'Arcy couldn't pluck it. And it'll trickle over the line for a minor score. 4-5 to 4-7. Brought to you by WorkSafe. It is Somerville by 2 points. 23 minutes into this second quarter.
Boys, has that breeze just got up a little bit? Because that's 2 shots on goal now that have just held up.
Yeah, it could be the flag in front of us is getting a bit blustery, favouring that left side.
So the ball comes out. Dixon, he goes on his left. Hope, he tries to avoid 2 tacklers. He has been called for holding the ball. No advantage has been paid.
Bit stiff.
So Somerville, they go up looking for the player there in Harrison Paul, but a good mark from Robinson. The man who walked off looking injured, but he's come back. Perhaps it's that calf. He's got it all strapped up. He goes in short. He's found the player there in Matthews. He wants to go by hand. Back to Robinson. Not once, but twice. He's going to have to go on his left. Who can stand up and take a mark? Should have been a free kick there to Olanis. None coming. That was a good little quick kick out. The player there for Somerville is able to go up looking for a Chislow to Ben Sedgwick, and he takes the mark just outside the forward 50. The umpire's going to bring Cowell back to about 47 metres there, but he will be able to kick for goal with the slight aid of a breeze.
Is he within range, Daz?
Yeah, I'm going to back him in, especially with the aid that AJ spoke about. But the efficiency for Somerville is back that Baz spoke about at quarter time that was lacking. Their entries inside 50 have looked a lot better this quarter.
And the wind, 15 kilometres per hour coming from the southwest.
Thanks, Stu, man. In Sedgwick comes. He's a long kick. Umpire just comes to us a little too far.
Tell you
They
what,
go through for a behind.
Whoever's got that red car up on the hill was looking a little bit nervous there too.
4.8.32, Karingal 4.5.29. Maybe looking for a bit of a stock take, Daz. Might be doing an insurance job just parking it behind.
Oh.
Yeah, it'd be a bit better if we're at Frankston Bombers. Someone might set it on fire.
Oh, Daz.
I'm from the area, I can say it.
25 minutes in. It's the Eagles by 3 behinds. Always chaos. Here in the commentary box and in the action, Somerville have kicked 2 goals this quarter. And Karingal, well, they're yet to kick one, and strong mark in the end by Sam Glenn. We haven't seen too much of today compared to his usual output. To the wing he goes, a large congregation of players at the front, D'Arcy at the back, and taken high. And he'll play on quickly. They've got numbers running through the middle, one of which is Connor Leslie, who can spot a man out wide, Mitch Glenn, the brother of Sam, and it's still just eluding him, and then he's ripped in the tackle and taken high. No doubt about it.
That's an extremely generous interpretation of the word tackle there. He went legs first and got him in the head, bit silly.
Heaves it inside the 50. And just missing the ball was McMahon. He floats around in the pact and then constrained in the tackle was the ball forward. And we'll have another ball up about 40 out from the Bulls' goal. Yet to kick one this quarter. It's been Nick Mason and Brendan Head for Somerville. 26 minutes in.
If that wind does keep up, then they've done okay for this quarter. Of course, only half a goal of difference, so it's not all doom and gloom for Karingal, but they're really struggling to move the ball once they get within sort of a kick away from goal.
And there is the siren for the half, and it's Somerville by 3.
Karingal 4.5.29, Somerville 4.8.32. Ball held aloft by Rowan David. Gets us underway in the second half. Both the rucks just go to ground. Alanis over it for Karingal. He tries to exit the stoppage, but he's taken in a tackle by Brendan Head, and we're going to get a secondary stoppage.
Baz happy already. We've called Dale Alanis' name, so he'll be keeping a close eye on him.
Smith, decisive hit out. Walker Swain was standing in the way for Somerville. Alanis tries to go through. Haskett, quick kick. In the Lockie variety, but it's only finding Jansen, who's had plenty of the footy today, boys. Looking out for Darcy Hope over his head. Over the back, Ryan McMahon for Somerville. He goes up looking for Walker Swain. He can go down the far wing. Looking for a target in Dan Marshall, who's been pretty quiet today. Other than the free kick after the siren at quarter time. Ball goes out and we'll get a throw in.
Bit stiff on Dan Marshall's had some really good tackles.
Oh,
It's been involved. Baz was loving what he was seeing in the second quarter.
his pressure's been good, but I'm used to him.
You're wanting
being,
more output.
I'm used to him seeing 3 or 4 goals on the board, Daz.
Harsh
I want to
judge,
spur him on. Ball thrown in. Smith. Alanis. Leading from the front. Going to get another stoppage.
So Vossi, no Mr. Whippy at halftime. I'm disappointed. What's happened?
No strength to get over there, Daz, unfortunately.
Busy on super coaches. The ball's thrown up. Bradley, he's tackled. Alanis lays a tackle for Karingal. So we've had plenty of stoppages to start the third quarter here. Looks like we're going to get another one. Umpire Rowan David circles.
Boys, courtesy of Bendigo Bank, it's tightening up at Pierce Street. It is Bomb Beach 8-4-52, Dramana 7-9-51.
Ooh.
Ball comes out the back. That man, Marshall, he tries to break through a tackle. He can't do. So, and we're going to get another throw in.
And the Bombers up by 62 points against Rosebud. So, looks like second bottom and bottom's decided. Rosebud second bottom, Edifile bottom, and Pranks and Bombers will finish fifth.
Yeah, they will, and I think the Pines draw won't matter that much because of percentage, especially with the boost the Bombers will get. So
yeah, it's only half. It was half a game the Bombers had on them anyhow. So
and about
Pines had to win,
20%.
Bombers had to lose.
Yeah, it's bottom.
So you wouldn't believe it, boys. Once again, another stoppage. Up to about 7 already. Couple of players trying to run through, just get something started for their team. Alanis is throwing his body around the footy to start this third quarter, and once again we'll get another stoppage just outside.
Well, Baz has only got 20 more Karingal players to tell to lift before they all do as a collective, because Darcy Hope, second quarter was fantastic. Alanis has started well here, so he'll make his way through, the great man.
Absolutely. Karingal worked the ball up through the middle. Who can run onto it? Is it that man, Darcy Hope? He should get a free kick there for in the back against Luke Rowe. Rolly Diassi needs to get back.
He's got to go quick.
Smale in a one-on-one versus Mantel. Just puts his frame in the front. No mark. Kelly on his left. Check side. Behind.
No right foot. It's just for balance, apparently.
Karingal 4-6-30. Somerville 4-8-32, Daz.
Would have liked to have seen that kick come in a bit quicker. Somerville had numbers streaming back, but they still had 10, 15 metres to go. So maybe a moment of hesitation costing them there, but a really good crumb. Just needed to finish.
What sort of lead, boys? Is Karingal going to need at three-quarter time? Because Somerville are going with what is scoring in the last quarter.
Sorry, Vossi.
Hang on for a moment, Vossi. It's Diassi again. Miscued hand pass for Bradley, who was brought to ground in an instance. Entering the scene with intent for the ball was Alanis. Didn't exit with it. Another tackle from Badams, but Somerville work it wondrously into the centre of the ground and beyond to centre half forward. Transitions into centre half back as the Bulls. They move it forward, this time to their centre half forward position. Hands in the back, not illegally. And in the end, it was all brute strength.
And I'm going to say 10 goals is going to be a winning score, boys.
Yeah, I was going to say, Vossi, I reckon you'd want a 4-goal lead. With the rain just starting to set in here, boys.
Yeah. Definitely is. Baz, I'm curious to see what you think, mate. I think 4 goals is, you'd be feeling content, and 5 feels comfortable.
Corey Badams,
especially with how efficient Somerville can be going forward.
Missed the goal earlier from a more acute angle, and this time he'll hope to rectify the situation. He's hit the post, and Karingal are now 1 point behind.
Although if the rain does come down a bit harder, Vossi, maybe a 2 to 3 goal advantage will be what they want.
Goals are worth double in the rain, Vossi. It's an expression that you brought to the table when I jumped on RPP not too long ago, and I've run with it since.
Can't allow the Bulls to attack the scoreboard early. And the Eagles, well, they're outnumbered in the pack. The hand pass from Bradley over the top was chopped off by the defence, and it's Luke Rowe to the wing. Again, the numbers with the Bulls. Hope almost cut off his teammate Seth Kelly.
That was like a mid-air block, wasn't it? That was really interesting from Darcy Hope.
Hoists it to half forward, front position with the Eagle. Takes it comfortably. Plenty of movement up forward. In fact, at the wing, they're a little stagnant, but he'll switch it to the back line, and it's very indiscriminate. And we will have a ball up about 25 metres out from the Bulls' goal.
The only positive in that, boys, is that it went out of bounds.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Just an absolute shank.
1 point the difference. 6 minutes into the third quarter. Neither team yet to kick a goal. And it's been camped in the Bulls forward line for most of this quarter. A missed shot by Sam Glenn as we wait for the ball to be brought back in and retrieved from over the line.
We really are at local footy if there's a delay because the ball's gone missing. And it's just rolling away from the boundary umpire. That's got to be lonely, just tracking a footy that doesn't want to stop. Karingal have got to lock it in here.
It'll be Smale and Brenton Head in the ruck. Head, who kicked that goal in the second quarter, needs to nullify his opponent here. In the end, it was the Rover that was cancelled out, and we'll have another ball up. 25 out from goal. Just joined us. The laid out of Callan Dixon gave Luke Farrelly a chance for the Bulls, and they've missed him in defence, have the Bulls. The umpire behind.
Sorry, boys. Been very quick to call ball ups, the stoppages. Here, the umpires, I've noticed. It's almost a second or two after they've been pinged. It's just happened again there.
Wybrow attached to his opponent. Another ball up.
Don't mind it, does. Bit of intent.
The ball fooled everyone. Finally, Head muffled one forward. It's still at half back for the Eagles. They can't maintain possession. We'll have another ball up.
I'm not sure if I'm a big fan of a ruckman being allowed to jump at the footy in a ruck contest, not touch it, and stop his opposition ruckman for going for the ball, is what happened in that contest.
In the ruck again, it's Head. And we'll let you guess at what the outcome is. Get some around the ground scores from Vossi in a moment. Vossi, thoughts on the opening 8 minutes?
Well, Somerville will be more than happy because they haven't conceded, and Karingal, I think, were 4-1 or 4-2 at one stage, now 4-7, so that's a bit worrying for them as well.
So once again, we're going to get a stoppage just outside the forward 50 for the Karingal Footy Club.
Even numbers behind the ball too for Somerville, so...
Standing in the goal square is Riley D'Arcy. He's got 2 for the afternoon. High ball going in. Who's going to stand under it? Mantel. Quick kick on goal for Karingal, and that is a shocking attempt, and that is out of bounds on the full and will not register a score. Michael Voss.
Courtesy of the Bendigo Bank. YCW 9660, AFL 3422. Bombers, huge confidence booster going forward. Or is it? Time will tell. 15.898. Rosebud 3624. Pines 8.452. Mount Eliza 5.535. Red Hill 6.541. Sereno 3.523. Bomb Beach 8.553. 1 point in front of Dramana. Dramana might have their third draw for the year, Daz.
That would be
17.52.
extraordinary.
So the ball just trickles out on the far side. Thank you for the updates there, Michael Voss.
How good must Somerville be thinking right now, just this third quarter? They don't necessarily need to score. That flag that's just near us is starting to get a bit more blustery, so this is golden for Somerville right now.
It's 9.5 minutes gone in the third quarter. Ball goes in the Somerville direction, but Badhams was standing there for Karingal. Bradley, he swung around a couple of times. Ball's on the ground. Quick kick forward by Williams. Good attack on the footy by Daniel Marshall. The pill's just getting a bit more slippery out there. Jordan Pomeroy just breaks through. He gets a quick kick. Ball smothered. Another one of the boys that Vossi probably played cricket with. Big tackle coming from Karingal Footy Club. Darcy Hope. There's a bit of how do you do going on behind the footy, and a free kick has been called against Jordan Pomeroy.
Would you say they need to generate some run off half back, Daz?
Yeah, I think so. If you're Karingal, if you're Somerville, you're all right because you're holding up well. They're doing a bit better than treading water. If you're Karingal, they've just got no handball game going at the moment. So everything right now playing into Somerville's hands.
So far side, Karingal 4-7-31, Somerville 4-8-32. 10.5 minutes gone, third quarter. Ball thrown in. Head and Smith. Head getting the top tap out there. Just gone inside the forward 50 for Somerville, but once again we're going to get another stoppage. Pretty much the summary of this third quarter there, boys. Plenty of stoppages.
Yeah, spot on.
Quick 11 minutes.
Umpire throws it up once again. Brewer. He goes by foot. Goes to a dangerous spot for the Somerville Footy Club. Mason. Did he have his jumper held? None forthcoming. We're going to get Another throw in once again.
Has any insights?
Well, if you're Karingal right now, you've got to wonder how many you're having at the stoppage and how many players you want behind the contest. Because if it's just going to be a contested scrap for the end of the game, then they're playing right into Somerville's hands. They have got to find a way to get numbers forward of the footy in to get overlap run. Because right now they've got none, and Somerville right now are loving how this quarter's turning out.
And finally, players
Here we
flowing
go.
forward, but
Spread, go.
absolutely, and he'll disperse out wide to the wing. A 2-on-2.
Oh, guess who?
Hope allowed his teammate to run
Oh.
onto it, but he just went past it, and then he was stripped of it. Was Lachlan Hind, who's kicked 2 goals today. Lachlan Haskett found an open man in Jake Haskett, his brother, who goes back to the hot spots. Unable to make it work is Sharp. He's also kicked one today. He taps it in front of himself, looking for a second. Breaks clear, runs into the open goal. And Somerville hold a 7-point lead.
How good was that? Well, Lockie Haskett to his brother Jake there, and that was just a beautiful piece of individual work. That was outstanding, and does this make Karingal wake up? Who knows, but Somerville right now are in the box seat.
That flag's just dropped out a bit, boys.
It definitely has, and we finally got a goal at the right-hand side. Haven't seen one since, I think it was Daniel Marshall on the siren, wasn't it, at quarter time? So
9 goals kicked in the game, 3 to that end, 6 to this end.
there you go. Thanks, Fossey. All right, Karingal, what have you got? You had momentum in the first quarter. You haven't had it since. You got to get it back.
So what are they going to do? They're going to answer Daz in the commentary box. Ball thrown up. Smith and Head. Head gets over the top of him. Haskett tries to go off the ground, probably kicking in danger. None forthcoming. Williams, he exits the stoppage. His kick hits the behind post on the full, and Karingal will be able to repel if they're smart. They'll get the ball movement going.
You know, this is a real test for Karingal. I touched on it earlier. Last 6 weeks they've played the bottom 6 of the bottom 7 sides. They've won every game. They've got to the finals. They've got to second. But now they're up against a battle-hardened side in Somerville. Can they get the job done? Can they get to the double chance and potentially go the short route to the grand final?
So Marshall, he just brushes off his opponent. He goes to the danger spot looking for Lockie Sharp, and he's standing up. He has stood up here, boys, in the last couple of minutes for Somerville, and he'll line up for his third of the afternoon.
Could say he's been sharp, AJ.
Thank you for that, Cuddles. What have you got for us, Chua? Surely you've got something a little bit smarter than that.
Well, he's 19 goals on the season. Also gets 1.5 marks inside 50 a game. Sorry, and he's
Razor
been
sharp at the forward line, you might say.
yeah. Well,
Hang on, why do I get flack for it? This isn't all right.
Sharp, in he comes,
That kick is
goes for goal, and he's got it.
It's only a couple of goals, boys, but they're in trouble here, Karingal. They need something to change quickly.
Of course, remembering that the winner of today's game plays Lang Warren. The loser of this game will play the winner of tomorrow's game, Devon Meadows and Pearcedale.
they're just moving with no intent. The balls, they're just kicking it to packs. They're not trying. They're not taking enough time to go look for an open option. They've just been really slow and unentertaining footy from the Bulls.
And even trying to get back to position, bit of lack of urgency as well. Danger signs.
5 goals in a row for the Eagles, and they'll hope to burst out of the middle again, and they may, although entering the scene was Glenn, and they'll diversify out to the wing, overrunning the football Hind. And again, another tackle. 6-8-44 to 4-7-31. It was Karingal by 11 at quarter time, and since then, they've kicked 5 behinds, and Somerville have kicked 4 goals, 5. But here is their chance. Tracking back for the mark was Sam Glenn, but reading it better was Kane McKenzie.
How good's this bloke been since quarter time? Outstanding.
Wearing his opposing
kick
number
too.
like a glove. Great kick into the centre, and it's Harrison Paul. He'll try to invent something, and he does. Centre half forward. It's Lachlan Williams. He has numbers moving. Mason, one of them. He waited for the ball, and his Rovers just took it to the open goal. And so that is all mine. And Tom Beckett.
Boys, Tom Beckett was standing all alone out on the far wing. They could have gone to him with the switch, but what they done They went a bit more centralised. He went down the far side of the pack and he snuck in.
Not one Karingal player getting back to position is doing it with any kind of urgency at all. They're down at the moment, boys. Vossi talked about it earlier. I reckon he might be spot on. They're not used to this. And right now they need their leaders to stand up, starting with Dale Alanis, as Baz mentioned earlier.
Oh, the donk. They need the donk in the game, you reckon, Daz?
Yeah, absolutely.
Bit hard when he's walking the boundary line, boys, for the moment.
Well, they trailed.
There's more than one leader in a footy club, and right now they need plenty of them.
They trailed by 25 points at quarter time the last time these two sides met, and right now it's 19.
Ball's back in the middle. Once again, we're going to get another stoppage, the flavour of the third quarter.
But you know, it's all well and good beating up on the bottom sides, but when you get up against these top sides and you haven't done it for a while, it's a different kettle of fish at times.
Almost like St Kilda this year, to be honest.
Ball goes inside forward 50, looking for Darcy Hope. He gets the two jukes up. He goes with a quick kick over his shoulder. One-on-one, Riley Darcy and Kane McKenzie probably should have got one for over the shoulder there. Potentially, but didn't.
Wow.
Good work from Kane McKenzie, though, for Somerville. Jordan Pomeroy picks it up.
Much better run.
He goes up looking for Lachlan Hind. Can he step his opponent? He does. Inside forward 50 they go. It's a 3v2. Can get over the back potentially. Who can run onto it? Sam Glenn lays a tackle. Numbers here for Somerville. Good work from Sam Glenn.
That should be ball.
Ooh. Yeah, he's
very
fallen
lucky.
Fallen right on top of that.
Yeah. The man who kicked the last goal.
So the ball's thrown up. Hope, row. Hope by fist that was there. Trickles out and we'll get another throw in.
That was a set play too. It's just the Karingal midfielder who was in between the spare man just got a little bit in the way, but they've got a plan here, Karingal, and I know it's an understatement, but geez, they need to kick one from this stoppage.
Ball thrown in. Deep inside the Karingal forward 50. Who can run onto it? Having a shot at goal was Oscar Whitty. Haven't called his name a lot today. And it's going to go through for a behind. Karingal 4-8-32, Somerville 7-8-50, Michael Voss.
Courtesy of Bendigo Bank, boys. The live ladder in Division 1. Tremana are now third. They are 5 points in front at three-quarter time. 8-10-58. Bomb Beach 8-5-53. Your mortgage is in huge trouble, AJ.
Can't win finals when it's not the final series yet, though, Vossi.
No, but the double, you're putting yourself into third, and fourth is a massive difference. There's only one number on the table, but third gets you a double chance, fourth doesn't.
To the wing, it's Pomeroy who breaks free, but he had Maroney all over his back. Strong tackle laid by Dixon, and we'll have a ball up at centre wing.
You can actually rest players potentially in a second versus third final, knowing you've got a second chance, but you can't do that in a fourth versus fifth. You've got to put all your eggs in the one basket and go for it week after week, and you get tired doing it.
McMahon braced for contact. Wasn't paid the free kick. A wry smile on his face, but we'll have a ball up. It's Somerville by 18 points. 3 goals in this quarter and 6 in a row. Strong body use from Maroney into the path of Williams, but he dropped the footy and spent it. Tapped forward, and now the Bulls. Makeshift kick was smothered. Again, Maroney head first into the pack. Plenty of tackles being laid and plenty of pressure absorbed, Daz.
Karingal's midfielder currently getting exposed defensively. That's 2 clearances in a row. They've just let Somerville walk out the front of the stoppage. It cost the Dogs the grand final last year. And Karingal, it might cost them a final this year.
Walker Swain taking the ruck duty that time, and he might just do it again here. And will. To advantage as well. Maroney again attempting to bust through, and he's still manufactured a hand pass. Walker Swain again. Short little dainty ball forward was cut off, taken high in defence. Matt Robinson hasn't seen too much of it today, of course. He went off the ground for a little in the first quarter. Jansen in the back pocket to switch play for the Bulls, and they'll need some run on the outer side. And if they can get it there, Leslie has plenty of space to relish, as does Battams, who will attempt to enter here, and he does. He's running after the footy, but he has 3 Eagles surrounding him. One of the most significant was Haskis, who could slow it down for the moment. Off to Mantle, to centre half back, a helicopter spiral sort of ball, and the Bulls on the counter attack. Leads for Maroney on short. Here he is. Dropped it. Strong spoil from Haskett again. It stays loose. Did he drag it in? That's the question. The umpire will refrain from holding the ball.
Baz is looking shattered. His man Darcy Hope had about 5 metres of space on the far side. and got blatantly ignored. If they want to get back into the game, they've got to lower their eyes, Karingal, and hit good targets.
Alanis attempting to assert his dominance, and it's chopped off by Mitch Mantell. And 21 and a half minutes through this third quarter, it is Somerville by 18 points, brought to you by Battery World Mornington and Pro Finish Roof Plumbing.
Didn't kick that one out of bounds, which is a good start.
Ball goes over the back. Walker Swain. He just goes for a bit of territory. Up the wing. It's a 2-on-2 here. Who's going to come out in front? Umpire calls for it and we'll get a stoppage.
Elite drive by there, I like it.
Courtesy of Bendigo Bank, boys. Frankston Bombers up by 92 points against Rosebud. YCW up by 45 against Edithvale. So second last will stay Rosebud, last will stay Edithvale. That's Medal currently.
Three-quarter time of the Giants Dockers game too. Dockers by a point, so they've worked their way back into that game.
So ball's on the far side here. We've got another stoppage. Ball thrown up. Rucks do battle. Williams waiting down for Somerville. He's tackled immediately. And once again, we're going to get another stoppage.
Should be a longer quarter, we think, Daz? All the stoppages.
Yeah, a lot of stoppages. 3 goals kicked for the quarter, which doesn't suggest a lot, but yeah, plenty of ball up. So I suspect that time on might drag out a little bit here. 26, 27, 28 minutes.
So the umpire calls for it once again. Thanks to the Pro Finish for the streaming sponsor today. Also, Batchwood and Mornington match of the day on the radio on RPP. We're going to get a throw in once again on the far side.
So if we suspect, because what happens in no matter what level of footy you go to is the team with the double chance that loses tend to cop a lot of criticism. Do you think if you're Devon Meadows or you're Pearsdale, whoever wins that game really does have a genuine chance, or do we still think Karingal are going to be the better side if they do drop this one? Boys, would love to know.
I genuinely think that the side's gettable. More so, we criticise in the AFL when, say, 7th or 8th win and then they play the higher side coming off the loss and we back 7th or 8th to get the job done. Whereas in this, it can be genuinely an even match, and you might find that the 5th side might get through to, say, a preliminary final and knock one of these sides out in 2 games.
So we had 23 and a half minutes in the third quarter. Karingal 4-8-32, Somerville 7-8-50. Ball over the back. It's going to go inside forward 50 once again for Karingal. Who can stand under it? Walker Swain's there for Somerville. Bit of pressure applied by Dan Marshall. Pressure certainly lifted from Somerville here in the third quarter. Quick kick up to the wing for Karingal out in front of Alanis. Can he run onto it? Can he do something for his side? Quick kick on the left. Goes over in the way of Kelly. Can he run onto it? He can on his left. Can he line it up? Yes, he can.
Well done.
So they got their 5th on the board, Karingal. They go to 5-8-38. Somerville 7-8-50. It's now a 2-goal game here, boys.
Yeah, it definitely is, and there's still time. There might be 1 goal left in this quarter, and if it's Karingal's, we've absolutely got a game back on our hands, but Baz called for it earlier, and he was spot on. They needed overlap run. They needed some aggression, and did Kelly get a lucky bounce? Potentially, but you've got to take advantage of that luck, and that's a fantastic finish on the run, and they finally got a goal kicker that's not one of their 2 tools.
Well, Kelly is averaging a goal a game in the midfield, and he was classed as one of the best under-21 players by the Herald Sun last year, so great talent is Seth Kelly.
Out of the ruck again, it'll be cut short. It's 41st goal in a Karingal uniform for Seth Kelly, and at the moment, Somerville have it. It's centre half back, close to right half back. Lachlan Haskett is the open man. Riley Diarcy trudges onto the mark. 25 minutes through. It's Somerville by 12. They kicked 6 goals in a row just before that goal by Kelly, and a boundary throw in at centre wing coming up shortly.
Still feels like there are more twists in this tale, boys.
Difficult game to predict, of course. The last time they played, it was a 3-point win for Karingal, and Somerville kicked 17 goals. Hope needs to show his offensive prowess here. Almost snapped it up, and coming up a little sour. We'll get to that in a moment.
Sam
The
McConnell,
umpire
I think it is.
will blow the whistle.
He's no good.
He's holding both knees. Yeah, it will be the left knee.
Just a question, boys. It doesn't matter who wins today, Summy or Karingal. Do we reckon either of them have a chance against Langy, who have gone unbeaten the entire year?
As Hope
Oh, look, everyone's got a chance, but you
Somerville's the side that's got within 1 goal of them in the second time they played at Langwarrin, but genuinely, no.
So I remember, I can't remember the exact margin, but Karingal went down by a fair bit to Langwarrin as well.
Yeah, they definitely did.
Oh, look at that out of the air. If it stays in bounds, it'll be a perfect kick. Unfortunately, slightly over.
You tell that you be honest, and people say you're being too honest and you're giving Langwarrin too much credit. You don't be honest, and people saying you're lying or whatever. But I'll put it on the cards. I don't think Langwarrin can be touched. The only thing that could potentially hazard them is the fact they didn't play last week with the abandonment of their game. They're not playing this week. That's the only thing that potentially could derail them.
Well, it was lightning last week that stopped the Yabbies game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Glenn on the left inside, 50, almost received a mark. Pressure associated with the handball, but Vossi, they do say that there is always room for one loss.
And especially considering they haven't lost all season, but they were actually in the centre ready to go, and the Lightning started last week.
Yeah. Well, my nan's a gatekeeper down for Tybe, and she was telling me about that. So
Siren sounds. It's 27 minutes into the third quarter. Plenty qualifying final. It's Somerville 7-8-50 against Karingal 5-8-38, and Somerville win the tap immediately out the centre and holding on to the tackle. The umpire let it play. A clearance from Ryan McMahon up to half forward. A big crash. Ball stayed alive. It was brought back in and he'll be penalised.
It's a good decision. The question that I ask myself is, why is it only starting to be paid now? But it is the correct call, and this is a big kick. The flag that's right near us, it's blustering a little bit, but I'm not sure how much of an aid it's going to be.
Jake Haskett's usually a very good user of the ball, boys, and this is a test distance-wise, but he's capable of kicking this.
Traditionally, the good ball users might struggle from set shots, but we'll see.
12 points up, looking to Wheely's side over the line in a final. It won't go the journey, and probably better off than a behind. We'll have a throw-in just outside their goal face.
And just following on with Jake Haskett there, he's only been playing senior footy for about 3 years, but has blossomed into a wonderful player, averaging 25 on 70%.
Big set of knuckles by the Bulls defence. And they clear the zone, but it'll be on its way back. Jesse Walker-Swain seems to be confidence infused from about 50 out.
2-on-1 in favour of Karingal, and they couldn't bring the ball to ground. That's pretty poor. Coming out of 50, I know it was a rush kick, but you got to be better than that. Final on the line, double chance or not. You got to do the right things more often, and they'll get over the line, but not like that.
Would require a massive strike, and he's got some purchase on it. Fading right again. Plenty of claims and jumps being made, but at the bottom, almost taken high. Marshall still swirling around, and then dumped into the ground was Lachlan Sharp, who's been the leading goal scorer today with 3 against his name.
Big moment here for Karingal.
2 minutes into this last quarter. Marshall restrained, it's tried to keep it moving, went out of bounds, and we'll have another boundary throw in.
Perfect result for Karingal would be to somehow rush it behind without being pinged for deliberate, so they can set up and rebound as efficiently as they can. Somerville locking it in is just perfect, whether they score or not.
Winning the ruck tap was Sedgwick, a floating ball up in the air, and it's marked by Joshua McMahon. The name has been said frequently today, whether or not it's Joshua or Ryan.
Are you calling it, Vossi, if this goes through? This will make it 3 goals, so they'll need 4 to win it, Karingal.
No, Daz, I'm not.
No, okay.
Sets the tempo for the whole side. He had 9 1%ers last week against Rye on this ground. And at the moment, he's hoping to get his side through another week in season 2022. And Somerville lead at 8-8-56 to 5-8-38.
Everyone getting to him as well. I'm not sure if it's they're pumped up or it might be his first for the year. I'm not sure. But a really passionate response from the Somerville players, and they know that they've only got to do a couple of more things right, and they'll be going through to play Langwarrin for a grand final spot.
Further to your point, though, Daz, it does make it difficult for them. Not impossible, but it does make it very difficult. Great goal there for Somerville.
Ball thrown out once again in the middle. Badhams for Karingal. He's over it. He lays a tackle. Ball comes out. Not going anywhere. Umpire calls for it. So the Giants up by 5 points in the AFL. Walker Swain has it here in the middle of RJ Rowley Reserve.
Big battle for Karingal. Here's leadership. Which of their leaders is going to stand up and try and drag them over the line? And in turn for Somerville, can their leaders steady their team down? They've done everything right for the last, well, 2.5 quarters, you could say.
It's a big tackle on Lockie Williams by Jansen. He's probably been Karingal's best, in my opinion, today. So ball thrown up. Head just gets a big fist. Leslie, he gave the handball. He got the 1-2. He goes inside forward 50. Hind. Hope. Out to Sam Glenn. What can he do? Can he stand up? He's going to try and run onto it. He goes on his left and he kicks
brilliant.
it. So Karingal answer back. They move on to 6-8-44. Somerville 8-8-56. 2-goal margin.
Wanted him to stand up, Sam Glenn. Didn't expect it to be in the goals category, but fantastic finish. Had 3 eagles on his hammer. Still needed that extra step to compose himself. That's a fantastic finish. They're not going to die wondering, Karingal.
And I've just noticed that Dale Alanis, he's gone forward a little bit. He is a great two-way player, so maybe Karingal have just pushed him forward to maybe apply more pressure to the Somerville players because he is such a good tackler, and try keep it in Karingal's forward 50 a bit longer.
They have rebounded with ease, Somerville, so good tactic there.
So Darcy Hope's been thrown into the middle. Not a bad move. Gets a tap out straight away with his fantastic leap. Hinton tries to run onto it. Ball just bouncing around. Who can extract it from the contest? Umpire calls for it. So the ball's thrown up. Smale doing the right work this time. Darcy Hope's gone forward. Both Hope and Darcy deep forward at the moment. Who can run onto it here for Karingal? Ball comes out. Haskett. He's driven into the ground by Bradley. Umpire calls for it, and we've got a Somerville player down the far side. When he gets up, we'll see who it is. But they're one down here at the moment, Somerville.
Holding
Ball's
his
inside
knee,
the
I think.
forward 50 for Karingal. Once again, we'll get another stoppage.
Slowly up on his feet.
Mentioned his name before, Josh Bradley. He's also going to be a guy that's really important for this fourth quarter when down forward for the Bulls. He's ranked elite for tackles by Premier Data.
Sam McDonnell is the player. He's not going to come off again.
And Alanis as well. Oh, no.
It's all happening here, boys. Williams through the clearance. Ball over the back. Hope goes by hand. Robinson. He drives it inside forward 50. Who's going to stand up? Alanis was in the middle of the pack there. The ball comes out to McDonnell for Somerville. He goes longer looking for Sedgwick. Can't take the mark. Pomeroy. He butters up. Goes by hand. Dixon. Over to Smale. Back to Dixon. He's dispossessed. Sedgwick gets a quick forward. Mason, can he stand up? He's been electric around goals. Clearing kick. Lands in the hands of Robinson for Karingal.
Had a really good second half, Robinson.
Not a great kick there, but Cow can run back onto it. What are they going to do here? Going to go up the corridor. Found Mitch Glenn. He's going to go in short, looking for Smale. He takes the mark. He wanted to go by hand, but doesn't.
Oh,
That's a 50-metre penalty given
no.
against the
That's
player there in
costly.
Josh McMahon.
That's really stiff. I understand what. Yeah, it's the correct call with the rule, but in a 2-on-1 situation, he just took that step, didn't he? And I'm not 100% sure, although the wind's died down a little bit, if the big fella's got the distance in him here, just to take a real big roost. Got a feel for Josh McMahon there.
So in he comes, Smale, up and under kick. Darcy Hope, can he take a big mark?
Got
No,
pushed.
standing in the way is Luke Rowe. Probably should have got a free kick there.
Yeah, definitely got pushed under that.
Rowe from the back line out to the wing. So no one really in particular. And Karingal again entering their forward 50 at the back and taking it. Alanis, a miraculous recovery. He was holding his leg a couple of minutes ago. And
No way.
Have they?
Oh.
What's the call?
Have they reversed?
It's
this
reversed,
or-
yeah, 100% it is. I think he's yellow card.
Riley D'Arcy. That's a major loss. Can't understate. Dale Alanis was lining up for goal. At least he thought he was.
Imagine being the coaching staff. Why would you want to coach footy if you're having that done to you? My goodness me.
What did the DRC actually do?
Oh, I didn't see it.
So hostilities resume in the back line for the Eagles. What could have been a 6-point game is now 12 again, and it's their ball at the wing. And now it'll be neutral. We'll have a ball up centre wing, far side.
I just want to point out the importance of this clearance for Karingal, though. This is dangerous for Somerville. They love the contested footy, as I mentioned before. A clearance is huge here for Karingal.
Nearly 10 minutes into this final quarter, and Somerville just trying to chisel it forward. Another scrap. Ball unable to be extricated, and we'll have a ball up on the wing, and tension's beginning to flare again.
Well, if you're Somerville, it plays into your hands as long as you don't give the free kick away.
Exactly right. Can't have another player sent off. Can the Bulls?
Go
And
on.
run down in the
Brilliant.
tackle.
Oh, and gave him a little bit too. They don't need two reversals.
Just in the centre of the ground, and now in the middle of RJ Rowley reserve to pump the Bulls back in again. Waiting for it, but misreading it. Seth Kelly, who's got the 1 goal to his name, wrapped up in the tackle was Hope. And it's centre half forward. The ball up.
Just getting a message in, and it looks like he actually clean headbutted him.
Oh, wow.
So he will be in strife for the remaining finals.
Yep,
For
100%.
Front position with Marshall, trying to tap it onto himself, trying to get his side over the line. Flicked it up to a teammate nearby, riding shotgun.
And if it potentially he's reported and he takes 2 weeks, he can't play. Excuse me, he can't play to a grand final if, in fact, they get there.
There's bodies flying everywhere, Vossi.
You'd think after the first Karingal defender falls over, the second one would just wait and see, but no, went tumbling after them. Interesting decision.
11 minutes through as we keep an eye on D'Arcy on the bench, but visibly annoyed and frustrated, but it's his own decision. And at the moment, the Bulls at centre half back with a penetrating ball to the wing. Hope couldn't reach it. The defence bolstered with all the numbers. It's a hazardous sort of kick. Even numbers at half-back. Delaying the give up forward and then putting it out to the wing to open space, allowing Haskett to run onto it. And, oh, jeez, he was slammed into.
Oh, I'm not sure if... I know that was
Taken
a
high.
tough, hard contest, but...
Yeah, it looks like he dropped to his knees
yeah,
there,
he dropped himself. I think he did, and...
So either way, Somerville have got the free kick here.
Oh no, this is unravelling for Karingal.
The 50-metre penalty.
And another one. Oh, what is going on? If they would pay an extraordinary amount of money to have a timeout right now. Karingal, this is extraordinary.
They've taken the gas here, boys. They are in all sorts of trouble at the moment.
This is an outright meltdown. Riley D'Arcy's the free kick was on the half-forward flank for Karingal. They're lining up for goal, 30 out.
So Lockie Haskett here. He's going to line up for Somerville's 9th goal of the afternoon.
This ends it. I'm calling it. Puts
Go on,
this
Elliot.
through, it's over.
So in he comes. Watch the Somerville players
Oh,
get
yeah.
around him here. So it's certainly looking like Somerville are going to run away with this here. A few things that's going to transpire during the week for the Karingal Footy Club.
To be a fly on the wall in those change rooms after the final siren goes. My goodness.
Just undisciplined footy from Karingal.
If you're Luke Forsyth for Karingal, you'd be absolutely fuming after that.
Yep, you definitely would be. And to think 21 minutes into the first quarter, the score was 26-7.
Just as I said that there, two-man, he walked down from the coach's box and then walked in. and had a word to his players, so clearly not happy.
Understatement of the year, that one. Goodness me.
Back in the middle. It's Somerville by 18. Alanis trying to put a stop to this momentum at the moment. Another wandering ball forward. Bodies collide, and the opportunity revealed itself. But it falls short. And it was Lachlan Hind, who's already kicked 2 goals today. Couldn't make it a third. From full back, Rowe. Versatile player, out to the wing, rising for the spoils. The ball defender interchanging through her hands. They slap it forward to no avail as of yet, but it's still alive. And diving on it. We'll go over to Vossi for Around the Ground Scores, brought to you by Better Go Back.
The games are mostly over. The closest games are the Pines Mount Eliza game. That's 21 points in favour of Pines. Bomb Beach up by 35 points. In fact, they've won by 35 points against Cremana, so Bomb Beach will finish third, and we'll play Mount Eliza next week. Red Hill play Sorrento today. Red Hill up by 26 points. The other 2 games, YCW up by Northern 10 goals. Bombers up by 117 points.
This is just all unravelling here, boys. Another 50-metre penalty against Karingal.
Walker Swain kicks that forward.
It's been very good, Walker Swain.
Interesting to see if he does receive the set shot. I think it's a boundary throw-in.
Does the best on ground discussion change a little bit with Riley D'Arcy coming off? So Kane McKenzie probably not going to get the...
it's dribbling towards goal, and it's missed.
Sorry, boys. But does the conversation change considering Kane McKenzie's new opponent probably isn't of the same quality as Riley D'Arcy, with all due respect?
What are you trying to ask there, Does?
Does the best on ground conversation change? That's what I said at the start.
No, because I don't think Kane McKenzie has been the best on ground.
Well, then by all means, fire some names at me.
I think Lockie Williams has been better. I think also Walker Swain has also been very good for the Somerville Footy Club.
Jeez, that's a bad
Sam
kick.
Glenn up forward and tracking back. Kane McKenzie on cue.
Must have known I was trying to take the crown off him, and the more I think about it, AJ, the more I'm thinking it might have been an off-air chat we were having earlier while you were ducked away.
McKenzie loads up, gives it everything he has. Hope at front position, but like he hasn't been able to all day. Couldn't mark. Chop and change through hand passes. Fell back into the lap of Leslie, and he was brought to ground, and cue the scuffle.
That's okay, Cuddles. That's all right, mate.
Doesn't really hit as hard home when you've got a minute gap in between, but
But
that's
it's okay.
Yeah.
It's the Eagles by 19. 16 and a half minutes in at Rye. Mason ensuring.
He had
But
a
he
very
can't
good
break
first
free.
half, AJ.
He certainly did. I just think when the whips have been cracking, Lockie Williams has been the one to get a lot of distance on his possessions, and he's also been getting it around the stoppages as well.
Another free kick for Sam McDonald, who's been beaten up, fallen to ground twice today. We thought it was an injury, but he's back up on his feet and
Clever.
he's hitting opponent or his teammate in Jake Haskett. Lace out, who centres it to centre half forward. Sedgwick obstructed, but it didn't matter because there were teammates everywhere. There's one on the goal line who
That's a
might
goal.
rush it through. And Somerville are out in raptures. Here at Rye, they lead it by 25 points in the opening qualifying final.
Yep, she's all over.
Who's here, Vossi? Knock, knock.
She's arriving, I'm telling you. She's here. The fat lady has definitely arrived here. Somerville are home, boys.
And it was William Shields with the final remark.
To think that I said Somerville, they've got 10 goals on the board, 10 will be a winning score, but Karingal had 4 in the first quarter. They've scored 2 for the rest of the game. Their much vaunted forward line has been thwarted, boys.
Absolutely. As the ball goes inside, forward 54, Karingal standing there. Is Darcy Hope taking a great mark, and he needs to go back and line up and put this one through the big sticks.
Surely he celebrates by pointing to Baz in the commentary box. He's stuck with him all day. No, we do know, Sus.
Is there still hope?
Oh, no. Geez, got under that.
And that it still hasn't made the distance. That has come down with rain, boys. And it's gone through for a behind for the Karingal Footy Club.
It's amazing, isn't it? Like 6-7 weeks ago, Brad Wiggy Canavan, the coach of Somerville, he announces he's going to be leaving at the end of the season, and all of a sudden he's one game away from being in a grand final, after today, of course.
When you look at it as well, as the balls come up to the wing here for Somerville, running back onto the footy is Leslie. Quick kick by Whitty. Looking up there for Hope. He lays a tackle. Out to Alanis. Quick kick forward, but it's a 2v1 situation here. And standing in the hole was Mantell. He goes out wide. He's found Jake Haskett, who's got an absolute paddock. He can go in looking for Ben Sedgwick. Mark not taken. Now Karingal on the rebound. They go by hand via Mitch Glenn. Badams. It's about a 1v4 at the moment. Standing there is Kane McKenzie, and he takes the mark. He just needs to just calm it down there, boys. Just slow it down.
He does, and Karingal, strange option there. We've heard of the triangle offense in the NBA. They've got the Swiss cheese defense full of holes there, boys.
I'll tell you who's had a really good game for Karingal, and he had a bit of a shaky start, but Lachlan Cow has been sensational on Ben Sedgwick.
Yeah, he's been very good.
Ducking underneath and then dishing off to a teammate. Was a Bull midfielder. They just can't bottle up the possession, and another stoppage will ensue. And ticking into time on, it is the Eagles by 24 points. 8 goals to 2 since quarter time. They have been running rampant. Still time to respond for the Bulls though. The centre half forward. Well weighted ball, but the defence will make a quick getaway out to the wing. A lead being presented, and we let it bounce in front of him. Had to wait at the mercy of it, and then taken down to ground was Jesse Walker-Swain. Well played by Pomeroy. Kept it in, had an overlapping teammate. Got the kick away, but not to good effect. And Harrison Paul, he'll size them up. Heave it to full forward, a one-on-one over the back for Marshall, but he still has a chance to get onto it. Flips it back into play. Toe pokes it to a teammate who centres it, but there's no one home. And Matt Robinson will take the mark.
So Robinson has it in the back pocket here for Karingal. They need to get the scoring going quickly. Leslie.
It's been good. The problem for Karingal is that they have had some good players on the park. Unfortunately, they just haven't been their best players.
It just really hasn't been Karingal's day, has it? Losing Cal Dixon a couple of minutes before the first bounce. Then trying to play a player that probably would have tipped them over the points situation, then having to get another one. So it's been pretty chaotic as the umpire throws the ball up. Ball just bouncing around. There's that man, Williams, who's been sensational. Ball going forward towards Walker-Swain, who can run onto it for Karingal. Whitty, he gets a quick kick going forward, but that is out of bounds on the full. And a player there in Lockie Haskett or Jake Maroney will be out, but Jack Maroney, will be able to take a free kick and get it going forward once again for the Somerville Footy Club.
I'll tell you what, whoever out of Devon Meadows and Pearcedale win tomorrow, and you can catch us on RPP tomorrow as well from Chelsea, they're going to be thinking this game becomes a little bit easier with the potential of Riley D'Arcy not being out there. Reported for a headbutt.
So the free kick going towards the player in Robinson. He goes in short looking for Pomeroy. So it's an alleged headbutt. The player there in Riley D'Arcy is off for. We'll find out after the game. Goes up to the centre wing. Luke Rowe, he's been fantastic today for Somerville. Sam Glenn trying to get the ball going forward. Darcy Hope, he just gets his quick kick going high. Badams, ball knocked away from him. Williams stands in the tackle, then he's taken to ground, and we'll get another stoppage.
Alleged, sorry boys, you're right. But that becomes a much more fruitful opportunity there for Devon Meadows or Pearcedale. That'll be a cracker tomorrow.
One here for the Bulls. The clearance, it's extremely wide. It should be over the line and is out in the full. Oscar Whitty. And at full back, the Eagles in defence. They've been stupendous all day. They'll kick a cross goal, which they're not usually advised to do. At the moment, Luke Rowe had it all under control. And on the other side, if he looks, he has plenty of options. One of Mason, one of Brendan Head, who's also kicked a goal. They get some protection from their teammates. And that's a dangerous kick as well to the wing, and it's chopped off. And Bartling, he'll move it on forward. Hope in the vicinity. He'll attack it with pace. Crashes through, down to Rowe. And on the wing, fumbling the ball, still looking to recollect himself, is Josh Young, who's also been productive today. But we'll have a ball up on the wing, and it's Somerville by 24 minutes in this last quarter.
Darcy Hope there attacked that contest magnificently. They had no one on the ground. Karingal,
Yes,
this has just been shambolic.
But they're looking for one more of the Eagles. The hand pass off, the open shot at goal. Sedgwick fell over, lost his footing. And through for a minor score. 25 points the difference. Nearly 25 minutes in.
Yeah, they're just waiting for the siren now, Karingal.
Cow from full back. Back into the main field of play. In the centre, it was hacked forward, and Seth Kelly
Oh, it sums up their day, doesn't it? Sums up their second half.
had an abundance of time, and Alanis could have been on the end of it.
And he's just giving him that death stare captain's look.
Brewer.
And I can't say I blame him.
They'll just let time evaporate. And Somerville, with 8 goals since the opening quarter, lead it by 25. High ball up in the air as a result of the defender's fist. Finally over the line.
And they've done all this today without their premier big man in Tom Roberts, potentially, maybe back next week from VFL duties.
Collingwood's VFL team are going to make finals, it looks like, Vossi, so maybe we'll keep an eye on that.
He was best on last week, Tom Roberts, against Rye. Unable to break free. William Shields, who kicked the previous goal for Somerville. It's been a while since that goal. And Karingal have attacked. Haven't amounted it to anything, though. A free kick being paid. It'll go the way of Somerville. Some shifting up forward. The deepest target was Williams. Instead, he hits him at half forward. Spills over to the other Eagle. And another hand pass from Marshall over to Sharp, who's kicked 3 today. Across goal it goes, over the line. And 26 minutes through, it's still Somerville by 25.
The Eagle has landed, boys.
Definitely has, Vossi. They'll go through and play Langloren next week. The winner of Devon Meadows and Pearcedale will play Karingal. You can catch us live on RPP tomorrow from Chelsea. That'll be a cracker.
So the ball's inside the forward 50 for the Somerville Footy Club. The big magnificent after half time. Lockie Sharp was doing the ruck work there. Sam Glenn gets a kick going forward, but standing there is Kane McKenzie, and he takes another mark.
Been outstanding. Genuinely outstanding.
And he goes with an
That
absolute
kick
mung
isn't.
punt. And taking the mark there is Christian Matthews for Karingal.
Come on, Kane. Talk you up, son.
So Karingal can't just be stagnant with their ball movement here. They need to at least get some momentum going forward. And we're going to get a throw in on the far side.
Question is, will it be a tumultuous week for the Bulls with potentially a report on Riley D'Arcy? They have to rebound. What do you think, Vossi?
Well, he's facing a charge that doesn't exactly get you off potentially lightly. So it's going to be interesting to see how they go about it, whether or not he will be playing next week. So it's a massive week for them.
The safe result would be 2, wouldn't it? If Karingal don't make it, then the league is safe in that regard, and if they do make it to a granny, he can still play. So if he does get suspended, I'd watch for a 2-weeker, a fortnight off.
Ball up at centre wing.
All credit to Somerville. This has been, apart from the first 10 minutes, but once they work their way into the contest, they've been the better side by so far. It's not funny.
28 minutes into this last quarter, and off the runway, Leslie It's a half forward, slapped back in. Nice invention by Hope, who hasn't kicked a goal as of yet. To full forward they go. Top of the goal square, numbers with the Eagles. Strong body use. Bit of miscommunication on the hand pass. And it'll fall back into the pack. And there is the siren. And Somerville, the Eagles, will continue to soar closer to September. 10-10-70 to 6-9-45. And what a performance it was, AJ.